Hey, this is Amazing Magnet Woman, and let's see if I can get this thing to work.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
And great. How would you like everyone to address you?
I'm Mechelle. Mechelle by my
Okay,
name.
great. Okay, so we are honored here today to have Mechelle Tucker from First Class Consultant come and speak to us. And so, again, welcome, and let's just get right into it. So, what were you doing before you were a business owner?
I worked in sales, so I think my first major job was when I got employed at MCI. So, and a lot of people who are, it was a very a culture phenomenon, MCI and AT&T and Sprint back in the 90s. So I was in sales. I had a job and I was in sales, and I did that for about 10 years. Then after I left MCI, I actually got into the mortgage industry, and I did that for probably for like another 6 to 8 years. And then
Wow.
from that, I double dabble because I just was real big on supporting, you know what I mean, relationships and contacts. And I think just the whole, nonprofit aspect, because a lot of what I do incorporates giving back in nonprofit and community. I don't know. I've always been a server of people. You know what I mean? I love people. So I've always been in some type of service work. So it kind of, I guess, made sense for me to, you know, I guess that's the root of where it comes from.
Okay. Great. That sounds really good. Like that sounds like You just have this aura about you that just attracts people. Sounds great. Um, so what happened to trigger you to become an owner? Like, what was the moment where you were like, yeah, owner?
Yeah. Well, I think because I was looking at the amount of time and effort and energy and resources that I was, putting forth and bringing to the table. So I understood the power of partnership, but I also understood the power of ownership. And knowing that if I was able to help other individuals and do all of these different things, I could do it for myself and I could keep more money, and make more money. You know what I mean? So that thought process, because it wasn't personal at that point, it's business. You know what I mean? So I think I made an executive business decision to be able to control what I bring to the table and what I do and what I bring of value. And I think that's kind of where it came from, because at the end of the day, it needs to make dollars and it needs to make sense. And I can't do this for free and just to help people. You know what I'm saying? I got to be able to put some food on the table. And sometimes with people, it wasn't always a win-win-win. So sometimes helping somebody doesn't help you. So I had to pivot and help myself help them. And it's so far so great.
Great. So you have several businesses, I understand. Was your first business a success?
My first business was First Class Consultant, and I'm still First Class Consulting. So yeah, in the beginning, it was not really about money. It was more purpose and just getting my feet wet and bridging gaps and being able to use my actions to show who I am. So I'm more of an action-oriented person. So I'd rather show you better than I can tell you. So it was more proof of concept, because a lot of people didn't understand networking and the power of win-win-wins and scratching backs, you know what I mean? Because you deal with people who have been hurt, who have been traumatized, who have triggers, who have PTSD, who've been betrayed, who've been lied to. So it was a lot of that, showing people that, it ain't all bad apples out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, just have faith. You know what I mean? There are good people out here. You just got to look for them. And you'll find it, you know what I mean? So that was my hope and inspiration in regards to, why I do what I do as an entrepreneur and what I felt as a business owner, and why I just, once I jumped in, I never went back to having a job. And like I said, I'm not beneath it. If God forbid anything needed to happen and I had to, listen, I'm always of service. I'm humble as they come, but I've been extremely blessed to be able to open up multiple companies, multiple businesses, and be able to, self-sustain, my life. I have a husband, I have kids, you know what I'm saying? So it's real over here with First Class Consultant, and why, we've been going strong since 2011.
Wow. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
That should make you feel all warm inside.
It does. I'm all about the women, the fuzzies, and it does. I'm proud of myself. You know what I mean? I came a long way and overcame a lot of sacrifices and crucifixions and Jesus Christ. I can go on and on in that regard. But one thing I never did was I never gave up. And even if it was baby steps or steps as small as a mustard seed, as long as you keep that level of faith, it can still move mountains.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
So that leads to the next question. What was the biggest lesson that you had to learn as the owner?
Um, Ownership. Ownership really means ownership. So when you are a CEO, when you are a boss, there's just certain things that you have to stay hands-on with. You know what I mean? So sometimes a lot of people a good example is Oprah. They say it don't matter what level of it is, she signs every single check. She's hands-on deck with every aspect of her company. So she doesn't just hire people and just let them figure it out. So I stay very hands-on in every aspect of my company. Plus, there's nobody who's going to outwork me in my company and me being a boss and a CEO. So I think it's important to be able to have that level of grit. And I think it's an experience and to be hands-on. And I think it also acts as an empowerment, because when you are a boss and when you are a CEO, when you have an owner and you're moving at that level of a speed, if you have somebody else come up under you, that's going to definitely inspire them. If you start slowing down in your own company, that might make them kind of slow down too. So I think it sets a tone, and I just think it's just best to lead by example.
Right on, right on. Wow. So I have another question. How important is it in finding your niche?
Well, I think it's very important because there's a lot, out here that, it's just right now we're in like the overload of information, communication at a max level overload, right? So I think to be able to find an area where you're unique, I think to be able to find an area where you're able to problem solve in a unique way and being different. I thrive off being different, and having something unique or a cutting edge. So I think that can separate you. And it's billions and millions of people out here. So I think having your own niche is very critical as a major strategy for business success.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, how much, and let me know if this is a little too personal or not, but how much did you spend on programs and coaching approximately when you were preparing and then expanding your businesses?
Well, I'll be honest, for me, I only do what I can afford. I'm thankful and grateful that I'm more motivated by inspiration than motivation. So meaning to me, it comes from within versus me having an
Okay.
external motivation comes from the outside. Inspiration comes from the inside. So when it comes to things that are on the outside, I'm cautious. I'm a researcher. I'm a type of person like I don't have a problem putting in the work. I don't have a problem being the apprentice, being the intern, being the volunteer in my own situation. You know what I mean? So I understand too the power of patience. So for me, it's not a lot, to be honest with you. I really self-educated myself, to be honest. I have never had a coach. I'm not against coaching at all. I think some people probably think that I am, but for me, I'm extremely motivated by inspiration, less long motivation. But I'm sure there's, areas where I'm sure people might, have a different opinion on that. But I like to go by what's worked for me. But hey, maybe I might be open to it.
Wow, that's really that's really like that's a gem, honestly. Yeah. Um, what would you say is the most important part of your journey?
Making dreams a reality. What's been for me and the business owners that I've been able to work with, and be able to have something just as an idea, something that's just a concept, and it actually become a reality, and they actually see their dreams manifest. That's what that does. That's what that is for me. To be able that's not even, I can't really even fully describe that. But every time I'm in a situation to experience that, that's the first thing that comes to mind with that question.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. So, okay, so this one, all right. I'm very interested in how you you feel about this next question. How important are systems and processes in business?
I think it's very important. Obviously, there's levels to it. You know what I mean? Because you have individuals coming in from a startup standpoint. You have individuals who are in a home-based standpoint, to small business standpoint, to mid-size. So I think to be able to automate yourself, to have the right programming and systems in place, creates a very smooth operational company. And I don't think most people are getting into business just to be a power of one. You know what I mean? So as you expand, as you ramp up with staffing, some people go into brick and mortar. So there's just certain components of having the right proper programming and systems in place to make sure everything just rolls and goes in the right order. If not, it'd be out of order. Then that's a whole nother madness when it comes to accounting and when it comes to bookkeeping and God forbid you get audited. So I definitely think that's something. And there's so many things now with artificial intelligence and so much apps, and I mean technology. You know, what I mean, definitely maximize the use of technology, because that definitely could make it affordable and also more simplistic to be able to implement without needing a full-flown expert to be able to help execute that.
So, okay, this Sunday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm teaching a course, and it's on mood and mindset. And I just like to ask if you could let the people know how important it is to get your mood and mindset in order to be a successful business owner.
Massively. You know, I think everything starts in the mind. So, you know, for me, that's where it starts. You know what I mean? So if your mindset is not in order, if your mood is altered or off, I think it impacts your body, and it absolutely impacts your spirit. So I think it's something that people should definitely, and obviously, you know, we're getting to a space where mental health is becoming a real illness that people are taking serious as one. So I think that's definitely a validated uh, um, note that everybody should take away to be able to check your mood and your mindset. And I think the world could be a way better place, especially in the business world. Lord have mercy.
So I know you say it's very important, optimal importance, but on a scale from 1 to 10, how important would you say
Say
it
that
is?
again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
On a scale from 1 to 10, like how important do you think just getting that mindset and mood right? How
10,
important do you
20,
think it is as a
a
business owner?
20.
20?
Absolutely a 10.
I agree. I agree. I agree. So wow, thank you so much for this intimate
So
conversation. And I just wanted,
how long have you been doing this?
how long have I been doing it? Well, my background is mostly in education and somewhat in consultative sales and insurance. So, but I'm mostly a certified teacher. So, this is what I do. Like, this is my calling from God. Like, God won't leave me alone until I build this boarding school. So, but as far as mindset, I actually partnered with the Houston Women's Center and Light University as international mental health coach, and we're actually adding a mental health coaching program to our church, Funches Missionary Church, and so it's a new addition as far as, let's say, last year.
That's fine.
I've been partnering with them since last year to provide the international mental health coaching program. So, but this mood and mindset, like in teaching, I've been doing that a long time, long time.
So you're just launching a podcast and getting to the media side.
The podcast has been, so my podcast is TheAmazing MagnetWoman podcast. It was originally launched on Anchor and Spotify about 2 years ago. But as far as Instagram and YouTube, I'm fairly new. I would say about a year, YouTube and Instagram. I'm even newer on Instagram.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm all about networking. I'm all about support, no matter what level, opportunity. There's all kind of great things that I have going on. So long as everybody know how to follow me, I'm gonna figure out what is going on with my personal Instagram. But I have my business Instagram, which is obviously most important. So First Class Consultant is where pretty much I'm at. Also, I have a notary agency, which is First Class Notary, and I also have a candle company that me and my daughter co-own called First Class Candles. So, you know, I got a lot going on. And I also have Mechelle Cares, which is my nonprofit. All of them on Instagram. Yeah,
Oh,
and on social media, they all have stuff.
yes.
Yeah. so we can keep the
Yes,
networking.
definitely, definitely. It's been a pleasure, and it has also been a pleasure just seeing your posts online. They're very captivating. They catch my attention. So
Oh,
thank you for sharing
okay.
that.
Thank you, and I appreciate that, and thank you for your time, and you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
um,
Enjoy. I don't know which city you're in right now, but it's sunny out here in Houston, Texas.
yeah,
Where are you?
I'm not outside. I'm about to be, but I'm in Litchfield Park, Arizona. I'm close to like Glendale, Phoenix area. But we're like the home of where the
Oh,
Super Bowl was at. I'm about 4 miles
oh,
from about 4 miles from where the Super Bowl was located. That just happened.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So yeah, thank you so much again for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. This is my first time going live like this. I'm over here trying to find all the buttons and all kind of stuff. Okay.
All right. So everyone, has been real peace and blessings to you, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.